I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, today we want to deep dive into the world of self help books and gurus. It is a multi billion-dollar industry that's
Yeah.
both celebrated and criticized. Let's just peel the onion and explore the appeal, the controversies, and the potential impact of this phenomena. Question here is that many people turn to self-help for guidance on personal growth and well-being. It's like I can't fool myself anymore. Let me outsource this work.
Yes. Let somebody else fool me rather than have to, right?
Right,
Because then you can blame somebody else.
right. That
Yeah.
I trusted you and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
dependent on
That
you.
person gave me wrong advice, or that person doesn't. So essentially, then you can find excuses. Why did you not succeed, even if you followed that person's advice half-heartedly?
Right.
Yes, it is. So my take is that they are good as long as you are willing to follow them.
Uh, Willing to follow them as in like you'll keep your head and heart aside and just follow them, or you'll apply them.
Yeah, apply. When I say follow means that you apply the learning, and that is not just true for self-help and all. Anything that you read or any knowledge that you gain. Applied knowledge is something that will actually get you results. Otherwise, just reading about, let's say I know so many people who have read Think and Grow Rich, I think 10 times,
And
and
then,
they just
and
stopped
then
at thinking. So So because what they do is that they assume that just by having read the book, the results will follow. Or you go to a motivation speaker, like Robin, who's the
Robin Sharma.
Ro- Robin Sharma, right? The monk who sold the Ferrari. The question is, first of all, why did the monk have a Ferrari? Right? And second, this guy is a multi-millionaire. He's like motivation speaker. That is his product that he's selling. You go and come back home and you think, you feel very energized and motivated, but then you don't do anything. You get back to your own routine. All that is wasted in my view. So, so all of these, I would say, is unless you apply what you have read or heard or watched, it is wasted time and effort. That's my opinion on this.
Right. And we know how many times celebrities reach out to them and they say that can you please sell our product, and then
Exactly.
just become the
The celebrity, SELL.
exactly they become the
We talked about it in
celebrity for
the other episode
celebrity.
also, I think. Yeah.
Right, right. And like a lot of players, lot of celebrities, the self-help industry has also faced criticism. One of the common concern is the oversimplification of complex issues. It's
Yes.
like one size fits all. And
Mm.
reason I got it here is fortune cookies, for example. You go to a Chinese restaurant, you may or may not eat cookie because
Yeah. But
I
you
don't
still
think
read
so.
the fortune
Yeah,
cookie.
you still, after having such good food, you don't want to end it by those cookies. But
Yeah.
yes, you are so serious about that one strip that comes out of that fortune cookie, and
Yeah.
you want to read it that, okay, what is
Yeah.
good for you?
And it's so generic,
It is so,
like it's
yes,
like the daily horoscope that people read in the newspaper or on the website or whatever app. Good fortune will follow today if you do this.
hmm,
And then the people do that,
hmm,
assuming that the good fortune will follow you. And then they will try to find a pattern that, hey, okay, yeah, this was good because
last time I
you
did this, so this
yeah.
happened, and yes, it can be merely
Yeah. So
coincidence.
we fit the narratives. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But the question here is that the couple of questions. One is that why do we go and seek help from the books, from these so-called self-help gurus and all that. So what is the what is the need behind that? Why would you not think of yourself and like you said, that let me outsource it, right? So that is one aspect of it. That the reason that we go and listen to all these gurus and everything, maybe for one is that either they have experience about it, they have gone through the situations, or they have observed the situation and they don't know the answer. The second and more fundamental thing is that I refuse to make the effort on myself and, like you said, outsource this on somebody else because I want a ready-made answer rather than trying to seek my own answer. So the all that is good. You can go, you can buy 5 books or 10 books, as many as you want. The question that I always ask is that how many books will it take for you to get inspired to do something? Or how many lectures do you need to attend to, get a kick in the butt to do something different? And that's where my pet peeve around all these things are that people follow a guru or whatever, whether it's a religious or a non-religious, like a motivational speaker and all that, they start following somebody, and they are listening to lecture after lecture after lecture, but nothing changes in their life.
Uh, Rajiv, I just want to advocate here a little bit for those who follow. Life doesn't go like a straight line. And sometimes things are really, you just want to leave it as it is. Sometimes quotations help. I remember I have interviewed a girl, uh, she was very average, and then in board she scored somewhere like 85-90%. And then we were just trying to ask about focus and how she got her motivation, and she said that I got this quotation on my study table: when the going gets tough, then the tough gets going. These things help, and getting in is simple, coming out is difficult, because once things happen, once things start happening the way you want to, then you're like, सब अच्छा तो चल रहा है. Why should I mess with this?
Yeah, but you
And
see,
this is where you need courage.
there are two problems with that. One is that, and I have gone through similar situations where, I would,
We all.
put a sticky and, try to, as a motivational quotation or something. The problem that I have with that is that, it gets you into what I call is fog of relevance, or, it gets into a thought, a boundary saying that you have to keep doing something till you actually succeed at it. It's like a lot of people say that, a lot of people quit at the, just before they were going to be successful. You will never know that. You may keep working on something for the rest of your life, and you will, it's like, I believe that it's like throwing good money at bad. So what happens is that these things create such a strong fog of relevance, or fog of, I would say, not relevance actually, the fog of constraint, that it will not allow you to pivot. There was one quotation I remember that, which was actually gave me a different perspective on all this. It said, try, and then quit.
Oh, okay. The quotation I read was try and try until you succeed.
Yes, exactly. So this was the counter to that, try, and then quit. And it was not that you have to really quit after 2 tries. And it's not that you keep trying for the rest of your life to do something that you are incapable of. Everybody has their capacity, everybody has their
Risk appetite, time,
threshold of
effort.
everything, right? So the question is that you can read all these inspirational or self-help books, but the you still have to apply your mind to how to use that. It's not exactly, or it should not be, but that is what people do, like what you said, that outsource your, this thinking to somebody else, and then you blindly keep following it without even understanding, does it really apply to me or not?
Right.
So the question becomes that, one, is there a one size fit all for everybody? The answer is no. You and I can go to the same seminar and hear the same person. Both of us will take two different things out of that,
Absolutely.
right? Now, if that is going to happen, then our results will be different because there are a lot of other things that apply to our condition. Right? My life is different from your life, and you have your own constraints. I have my own constraints. So what these self-help books and what are all these gurus, they don't actually clarify to their audiences that this is simply a recommendation. It is a guideline, not a rule book. And people confuse between a guideline and a rule book. And they think that a guideline is a rule book, and many times the other way around also. So yes, all this is good, but I still think that you read a book or you hear a guru or you follow somebody, even our own podcast. We talk about many of these things, but I'm expecting that the listener would pause and say, all these guys really talking about something that I can apply. Does it really apply to my situation? It may not apply today, it may apply somewhere later,
And we say
or
it's a
whatever.
thought-provoking podcast. You
Yes.
will be compelled to think about it.
And that's what the
And it's
books
your
and all these,
and it's your own journey. We all have our own
yes.
journey, and it's your journey.
And same thing applies, same philosophy should apply to the self-help books, the gurus, and all these people. So as long as you keep that in mind, I think you don't need to read more than one or two books. You don't need to listen to the same, yes, you may listen to one, you know, let's say, session over and over again.
I have
There's a
listened
very,
to Naval Ravikant
yeah,
multiple
novel
times.
trouble. Yes.
Multiple times. I have listened to Khalil Gibran multiple times. As a mom, it really helped. And every time there was a different learning.
Exactly. So that's exactly what at the point I was trying to make, that you can read just one book multiple times. As you keep maturing, you will get more and more out of it. That's the beauty of the book. You don't have to read 200 self-help books and still be stuck
Looking for
where
help.
you are. Exactly. But that's the story of everybody today.
Right.
The reason that this is a multi-billion dollar industry is that people will go and read Naval Ravikant, or they will go and read Robin Sharma, or they will go and read 10,000 other similar kind of authors like um, Power of Now, and just tons and tons of every day there are at least 5 self-help books that come out, but they will not apply anything from them. And then they will move to other one because, oh, this I read this book, it didn't do anything to me. Well, the book will not do anything for you because you have to do something. You go to a session with a Robin Sharma or whoever, listening to that lecture is like, it's like, the analogy I can give is that reading about the formula of water H2O will not quench your thirst. You have to drink the water.
And,
It's the same thing.
and when you listen to anyone, I somehow feel that all these teachings were given to us at home. My mom says the same thing that
Common sense.
no, my mom says the same thing that when you get done with your work early in the morning, it is the most fruitful time of your day. My mom says the same
Productive.
thing, but it's just that Robin Sharma is saying that about 5 a.m. club, which is just a mix of all the quotations from across the globe. And when my mom says the same thing, I'll not listen. But if Robin Sharma is saying the same thing, I'm like, okay, I should at least
Exactly. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. And
So
it has helped. It has helped when you do your studies early in the morning compared to when you do it in the evening. There are a lot of distractions. Phone
we talked about this, right? So I think in one of the episodes we talked about that, and I made the comment that if I make a statement,
yes, and if
and if let's say Bill Gates or somebody else makes exactly same statement, people will
it will be,
talk.
yes, more
Right.
impactful.
So now there are two things about that. One is obviously the brand. You know, your mom doesn't have the same brand as Robin Sharma, so
Yes, she
that's
has
why you will listen to
more
Robin Sharma
brand.
more than your mom, right?
Right.
And because mom is the mom brand, which is to be ignored. So everybody
मम्मा तो
ignores
सारा
that.
टाइम बोलती रहती हैं
Yes,
सच
yeah,
ऑफ
yeah. Yes, exactly. So the other thing is that if you have paid for the session with Robin Sharma, then obviously there's a monetary thing involved, and it will have more weightage. So if you attend a seminar and you have paid $500 for that versus a free YouTube seminar on the same topic, who are you going to put more weightage on? Where you have spent money. Now the problem is that you will not follow either of them. So, and then you will complain about, hey, I attended seminar, it didn't do anything for me. Obviously, it did not, because you did not do anything after that. So that's why I think that is why this industry has grown a lot. And I think it will continue to grow because people do not act on what they have learned. They are so afraid. We are so afraid to act on something and make a decision about ourselves because of many, many things. And fear of failure is one of them.
uh, another criticism that self-help books or gurus or uh, influencer or anybody who faces that there is a lack of scientific evidence to support many of the claims made in self-help book. How can listeners evaluate the credibility of these self-help advices?
See, there will never be scientific. So, what is the scientific study around love? Why do people fall in love?
That's the most stupid thing. I don't know.
No. So, see, there is no, there are things which are more psychological. They're more what you call as non-structured. You can only measure something that is structured.
Very true.
Right? Motivation, how do you measure motivation? You'll ask 5 questions and say, am I motivated after hearing this? Yeah, I'm motivated maybe for five
For
minutes
5 days. Yeah,
or 5 days. But
right.
then what happened after that? Nothing. Did it result in anything? Did I fall off that motivation train? So there will never be scientific evidence about these things. What is the scientific evidence about hate? It's the act of hate. Right? What is scientific evidence but of love? Of more, so these I say that this is all nonsense. There can never be scientific evidence about these human emotions. The only way you can measure that is through interpretation of the act. Yes, if we had tomorrow we can say, we read about or listen to, let's say, how many people who listen to Rami Sharma or Naval Ravikant or Elon Musk or all the big Narayan Murthy in India, Jack Ma. How many of people who read their life story and got so motivated to something different? Today, 0.0001% people. That's not even the rounding error as per the scientific study. Now, would you say that they don't know that inspiration is bad or these people don't inspire people? No, they do. The problem is that the path that you take, the effort that you make, and the results that you will get will be very varied between 10,000 people who are following, the same advice. And this was a very interesting debate that I remember having with another friend of mine, a few years ago, because I am of the opinion that the learning depends on the learner, not on the teacher.
It
And he had a very different opinion. He said, no, 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 it depends on the teacher. I said, then why, by the same teacher, you have 30 people in the class and all 30 rank differently? If it depended on the teacher, then they should all score exactly the same. That's why if you see, million copies sold or 10 million copies sold of Robert Sharma's book, and out of that a million or 10 million, how many have actually, inspired or actually resulted in something, transforming their life? I'm sure it is less than 1%.
And inspiration can come from anywhere. Like you can
Yeah.
get inspired by an ant, by a garden, by a flower. Inspiration
Yes.
can come from
Yes.
anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the time and situation you are in. You can get inspired by anything. I remember reading this book, JLS, by Richard Bach.
Yes.
I think I read it when I was in graduation second year. There was
Mm.
very different learning then,
Yeah.
very different learning now. And the thing that stayed with me was the most difficult thing is to convince a bird that it is free.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, exactly. I think in one of the episodes we talked about that Alejandro's quotation. I don't know. I always screw up his name, but I think it is Alejandro. He said that a, a bird born in a cage thinks flying is an illness. I'm paraphrasing. So it's the same thing that when we talk about self-help, when we talk about these motivation speeches and everything, when you listen to that and you go back and do exactly what you have been doing before you listen to it, that means there was zero impact of it. You, in your heart, you are convinced that, okay, this may be good for people who are others, but not me. So you are reconvincing yourself. It's the same thing, that you don't think that you are free. You will give an excuse of, oh, but my life is, my family is dependent on me, or I cannot do this because I am this and that, or I have to, how will I take care of my EMI, or my mortgage and my this and all. So what you will do is that you will create or identify multiple reasons why you cannot do or why that thing cannot apply to you.
And
And
not
then
one
you
single
go to
reason.
another person
Yeah.
and then read about their story and say, oh, what an inspiration story, this guy this did and all that. Oh, but I cannot do that. So all you're doing is you are just jumping from, you are trying to find reasons to convince yourself that all of this does not apply to you. And that's why people, there's a new book that comes out, you'll go and buy another one. Oh, maybe this will solve my problem, but it will not. The books, the lectures and all that do not solve your problem. You have to solve your problem. You have to stop lying to yourself that, hey, the answer is out there or somebody else will give you the answer. No, you have to find your own answer. And I tell people that if you are willing to learn, the universe will become a teacher. And just like you said, that you can an ant or a flower or somebody on the roadside will become a teacher to you, as long as you're willing to learn. The problem is that we are not willing to learn. We are not willing to be inspired. We are not willing to change. And therefore, we keep jumping from one guru to the other. And then we deify them, or, the books, you read 20,000 books and still you're not inspired. No change has happened in your life. And that's where, I think that all this is wasted effort, time, and money.
Very, very well said, Rajiv. And then there was another thing in JLS uh, where it was almost told to him that no, no, we are seagulls and we cannot do this.
Yes,
And that seagull did not listen.
yes,
Danger of blind following. And I detest the idea
yes.
of blind following. Like, had it been like, okay, everyone is doing it, I should also do it. If it's working for everyone, at least I'll live my life the way everyone is living. The danger of, and I detest the idea of blind following. I've shared this earlier as well when we were talking about go with the flow, be the flow, or resist the flow.
Conformity,
And
conformity.
and yes, I gave a very strong opinion. But again, your opinion about
So
anthropophobia.
here's my question to you. You detest blind following,
I,
right?
I detest the idea of blind following.
The idea, but yet you still do.
I yes, I detest it. That's why we need to pause and reflect and see what am I
Yes,
doing and why am I.
exactly, exactly. So the main, see, going back to, I'm going to repeat myself again, that blind following is because you are not pausing to think and reflect that why am I doing what I'm doing, what I have been doing so many times, right? So I think I shared this quotation that was transformational for me. And this was almost like 35 years ago. I read it somewhere. Uh, I don't know whether it read it or it came to me, but whatever it is, it was, if you continue to what you have been doing, you will continue to get the results you have been getting.
Yes, that's a book, The Man Within, and it's in the backdrop of Hyderabad. They were playing
Ah,
a cricket match, and then this quotation was like, so at last ball, and they had to score some 4-6 runs,
hmm,
and then he changed the strategy. And this the same thing. If you do what you always did, then you'll get what you've always got. So he changed the
hmm,
strategy in last ball, and they
hmm.
won the match.
So when did this
I
book came
remember.
out?
I'm sorry.
When did this come out? The
Long ago.
book was
I don't know. This is my Calcutta days when I read this book, which was again some 16,
20.
17 years ago. But yes, yes. I remember this
Yeah,
quotation.
because this has been with me since 1980s or something. So that's why I was eager to find out whether I read it somewhere or did it just come to me. But yeah.
Yes. Uh, Rajiv, what advice would you give to listeners who are interested in exploring self-help resources? How can they use the resource wisely without a potential pitfall?
No, there will be pitfall. Why are you afraid of pitfall? See, that is exactly why you will not follow self-help. Because you want to de-risk your life. The problem is you cannot. No, then I would say don't, if you are trying, now, having said that, the main thing is that yes, you cannot go and head on into a stupid risk. Now we talked about this also
Evaluated.
earlier.
Yes,
You
you.
have to you have to reflect that what you are, who you are, how much risk you can take, and all that. You take the calculated risk, but then don't leave a back door open. So what that means, so here's an example I can give. Let's say today, I am in high tech, right? So I want to now jump into the new shiny object, artificial intelligence. There are two ways to go about it. That I continue to do what I'm doing and slowly and gradually try to see, okay, I will learn AI and but the problem would be that journey will be so long and so tedious. And by the time I am actually able to pivot, first of all, I will never be able to pivot because I will not demonstrate my ability that I know this new thing ever because I'm not taking a risk. Where I have personally seen where I have been successful is where I shut down the door of what I was doing earlier. And I have done this multiple times. When I was in my beginning of my career, people would tell me, don't piss off. When you're quitting a company or a team or something, don't piss people off. I would actually intentionally piss people off so that I know that door is closed. Then the only way I have is to move forward the direction I have taken. Very contrary approach, now I can reflect back and say I was successful all the time. No, not always. But at least I had no back, a door that I could go back and sulk and say, oh, I did not succeed because of somebody else, did not give me the success I deserved. So I would recommend that yes, all these self-help books and everything are helpful, provided you follow few things. One is you take one idea out of that and you apply it in real life, whatever
Question
it is.
how? Is it by writing? Is it by
No, writing, no, you keep writing H2O will not quench your thirst. You can, write H2O, you can fill a full library of H2O, H2O, but you're still thirsty. No, you have to act,
how?
right? So, see, I don't know. It depends on you. For example, what do you want to do with your life? As of today, you look at your life for next 30 years. What do you want to do? You have no clue.
Yeah,
You want to go, you want to go to your job, make your earning, have a good time, but you don't enjoy it. And then 30 years down the line, you will see, oh man, what shit. In spite of the fact that you want to do solo vacation, you want to learn an instrument, you keep reading about things, you keep, oh yeah, I will take this hobby. I know of people who had the goal of writing a book when they retire. First of all, why have a goal of when you retire? You can write the book now, anytime.
right. Who stopped
Okay,
you?
assuming that, okay, I'll give you that leverage. Okay, you are like workaholic and you cannot find time to write a book. And those people have been retired for 3, 4 years and have not yet written a single page. And then I asked, what happened? So that means that this was just, like living in a, falsehood, falsified dream, saying, I want to do this, but I don't want to make any effort. Now, now you can say, oh no, I'm going to write only when it will be a bestseller. How do you know?
If J.K. Rowling would have thought that, then yeah.
No, not only that, you see, even if you write something, every day more than 1,000 books get published just in the US.
Right.
Who knows about your book? Are you going to, this is a complaint that I ask, I ask myself many times that, sometimes somebody will say, oh, how many copies have you sold of your book? I said, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, who knows? But the thing is that, but I have not made any effort to sell those books, no effort in marketing, no effort this thing. Because I have not done any effort, I need to be, I need to agree to the results of not making the effort. Then I cannot say that, oh, my writing is so good and why is it not a bestseller? Why, it is not the writing that will make the book success. Many shitty books have, been very successful. So there has to be packaging, there has to be, marketing. Like, why is Robin Sharma? He's not the only, motivational speaker, but people will pay thousands of dollars to go and listen to him. And I may say the same thing, but nobody will pay. Actually, they will ask me the money that, hey, I'm here, so you please feed us lunch. so, so it is. I would say, you decide that why are you reading the book? or listening to the podcast, or listening to the lecture, or attending a conference. And then immediately you say, these are the top 3 actions I'm going to take from today onwards, not tomorrow, today. And then you follow up on that action. You don't need a second self-help book. You only need one.
I think you just need to look around, pause. All answers are within us.
Yes.
All answers are within us. If it's
Yes.
helping, good. But yes, somehow I feel that we know it. अंदर से हमें सब पता होता है कि what we
Yeah,
need,
yeah, absolutely.
what we don't need.
Yeah. And we need to stop lying to ourselves that, hey, you are what you are. Then within that, within that constraint, you still can achieve phenomenal results. And that's all you need to worry about.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajiv. That was quite a thought-provoking discussion. Thank you so much for listening. Do visit our website, thelielama.com, THELLIAMA.com. Do let us know if you want to come on our podcast. We'll be more than happy to host you. Closing comments from your side, Rajiv.
I think there's a very good quotation by John Steinbeck. He's one of old authors, and he said that and now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. And I think that's all you need.
That summarizes. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you so much.